Good afternoon, YouTube. It's your man, all the way, George Page, aka the Emperor of WMA Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, I know I hadn't been much on my WMA of lately. Folks, a lot, as you know, the bodybuilding season started. Folks, a lot of stuff that's going on. There's some news that's going on in this bodybuilding world that got my attention. So, I need to jump on my MMA, but you know what? I leave that to people who are better, more suited for it. People like my man, the coach. Colin Baker 99, BJ over No Filter MMA, and also my lovely, the queen herself, KTT Brown. Shout out to them. Also, WMA Addict. Cool guy, great. He has a new channel. He hates dogs. Well, WMA Addict, I love dogs. And I know stuff happens with dogs. It's just that they're animals. But still, we humans and dogs have had a long symbiotic relationship for over millenniums, for tens of millenniums. I mean, but we can't change. You gotta make you change your minds that you don't like them. You can't change my why I like them. We just let's just disagree. So anyway, I was gonna come on here, but last night was UFC 289, and it was the main event was the Lioness Creed, the double champ, Amanda Nunes versus Irene Aldana. I had big hopes for this fight. I did. And I had big hopes for Irene Aldana. Her teammate and fellow Americano Chica, Alexa Grasso is the current 125 champ for right now. Right now. And I thought she was gonna maybe bring something, but big letdown. It was, big letdown. My man, the coach, he did a live stream commentary of the fight. And I listened to it, and and I was really disappointed. She didn't do enough. She had a few shots here and there, but really she was just getting dominated. She was getting beat just probably about as worse as the fight against Peg Leg Pennington. Where this is where the corner should throw the damn towel. And I was just really disappointed. I had big hopes for Irene. Someone to put a little chip in the armor of the double champ. But, she just didn't do enough. She was getting dominated most of the fight. She had some good shots every now and then. But the fact was, it was a total domination by Amanda Nunes. Like I said, I'm not a fan of hers. I don't like her. But I got to give her, No, I gotta get a shit because this is why I get the hater on. And the hater, I hate that. I can't hate no more. So I don't give a shit. And now after the fight, she announced that she has retired from MMA. And and this is something there was like talks about people saying, is she gonna keep on fighting? But officially, after the fight, Amanda Nunes announced her retirement. And she's been competing in MMA for practically 20 years. Now this is a little clip. This is from the fight was in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. It's a long time since they've been in Canada, especially after the pandemic. As you know, on the card was Oliveira versus this guy. I forgot his name. There's Nunes and her wife. There's Adanya, and this was supposed to be a big fight, but it was just domination by both. The former champion men's lightweight. I think that's what's the face. I'm not gonna say too much because you know how the UFC is about fight stuff. Even if it's on the YouTube channel, but here she is. She's holding her test tube baby. Even though she's the mother, she's she's Nina Ansaroff's common law wife. Here's somebody saying, "Where's the father?" The father's the test tube. It might be Dana White for all we know. I mean, Nina Ansaroff. I don't know. Nina Ansaroff, that chick that you just got 10 years out of prison. No, not 10 years, maybe 5 years out of prison. And you got itch you can't scratch, and she's the woman there, and she retired. So both of them are technically, I would say, unemployed. We all know the breadwinner is Amanda Nunes, and she as you know, it's a tradition when a fighter retires, they leave their gloves in the ring. So she lays out both the 135 title and the 145 title. So now the titles are vacated. So what's the future for these two divisions? Most definitely, for one thing, with 145, there's not enough fighters. And that's the fault of Dana Wife beater. I mean, you could have recruited more fighters to be more competition. And now it's going to be a push for who's going to get this title. So is he going to build 145 division now that Amanda Nunes is not holding that title and 135? The title has not been defended since she last fought Lisa Spencer. That's been pretty much about 2 years. And like I said, I'm not a big Amanda Nunes fan. She is the all-time great. But truthfully, I'm not a fan. And she says she's still champion. I mean, it's just Dana White give her both the belts. And sorry, Dana Wife beater. I'm sorry, I keep his name, but what mistakes Irene did, she just didn't do enough. I mean, and this is somebody's gift. Now you have gifts in IG now, and the fight was, even though I wasn't watching it, it was a big disappointment. I mean, Irene had a good shot there because you can really see how she turned Nunes' head. There was so much people that was ready to see, people did not want to see, Amanda Nunes retain the title. They didn't. And, and this is a little scene where she's in the ring with DC. And, she's like, it looks like she almost giving the title as a bird. And, cutting off her wraps and stuff, She's saying something. I think it's Brazilian, really. I don't know what she's saying, but and just there's DC. Like I said, I'm not gonna play the sound because you know how it is. Gotta be careful. YouTube is always on some shit. And then you see, they let you show this stuff here because it's not actual fight footage. It's just basically her just in the ring, so they don't count that. UFC won't come after you unless it's fight footage. But it's just something like this. It's basic news. It's basic public. They'll let you have that. But he's cutting off all her wraps, and and it's tradition after you know you after your last fight, you leave your gloves in the ring. And she's kissing the I think 135 belt, and that's the 145 tip belt. Can't really tell the difference between either one of them. They look about the same. It's just how many rubies she has in them. She has more rubies in 135 she has in 145. And you have Irina there in the back. She's wiping her face. She looks busted up. I mean, big disappointment. I mean, people were, you got the shot over, um, you know, Peg Leg Pennington. And this fight was probably big disappointment next to the fight with Peg Leg Pennington. You know, now she's done and gone, and she's riding off in the sunset with her wife and her kid, and to retirement. So, what's the future now that no longer the Lioness Queen is in the UFC? I don't know. And part of me saying I don't really care too much about her. I could say it's good riddance, bad rubbish. So what can happen? Well, UFC, you can probably now you don't have a dominant champion like Nunes anymore. You could open up opportunity for do this. As you know, Julia Pena is still suffering from her injury. She has a rib injury, and that injury is it's going to take a while for it to heal. And Holly Holm, I think she's supposed to be fighting somebody. I think it's who's she supposed to be fighting? I think this is No. Who's Holly Holm supposed to fight? I think Holly Holm supposed to fight somebody. Let me see if I can find it. I think Holly Holm has a fight coming up. Let's see. It's somewhere. It's probably on. Usually. Let's see. Let's see. They usually post it on. Let's see here. Any upcoming fights for Holly Holm. You see Tapology usually, because they tell you if any fights are coming up. Yeah, Holly Holm will be fighting Mario Silva. Excuse me for a second, folks. I'll be right back with you. I don't know why people want to call you in the middle of the day when you're not doing anything. And sorry, folks. It's one of those things that happen. Just somebody just call up on me. But anyway, you know, I would say, Holly will be fighting Mara Bueno Silva in July. And that's gonna be July 15th. That's I would say a couple weeks from it's a month from now. And see if we, like I say, if you look at who's next for her, like I said, after that, you probably wait till about if she fights Marbury and Silva and beats her, and Raquel hasn't fought since Raquel hadn't fought since let's see, we'll pull up on Tapology. Raquel's last fight was back in when she fought she was going to fight Irene, but she fought Caitlin Vera and beat her. And that was the first of this year. That was January 14th. And then she was going to fight Irene, but then Irene was pushed up. So I think the mindset was that, like I said, the thing with the Julia Pena fight was canceled because Julia had an injury, and I think people felt like, we don't want to wait, so what could happen is this. Since it's been since January, since Raquel fought And Juliana, I think it's gonna be like this. I think her and Juliana probably gonna fight for the vacant title. That's the way I see it. No point in waiting on Holly because Holly, after her fight with Marbury and Silva, she just needs maybe depending on how the fight goes, another 2 or 3 months to, if there's no concussions, like she'll get knocked out, or the fight doesn't really go like really vicious, where it's a real battle, where she gets time to heal. They're probably going to skip over. They're probably going to give I think it's going to be a title shot between Juliana Pena and Raquel Pennington. I think that's possibly it, because I you know I just, like I said, that's more likely the possibility. A lot of the fighters won't be ready for it. I can't think of anybody else that that they probably would set that up with, because, like I said, Holly has that fight with Marbury and Silva. They could cancel that fight, but that fight's like a month away. So would Dana White do that, knowing how much he likes Holly? And and at one point Raquel was was on the list as an alternate if Irene couldn't make it. I don't know. Now with Juliana Pena, her fight was going to be the 10th. It was going to be yesterday, but because of her injury, it was set back. And a rib injury takes a while to heal. And I don't know, knowing the UFC, knowing Dana White, Dana White beater. I apologize. He does not have his last name is Dana White beater. I always remember that, because that's why I don't call Raquel Rocky anymore, because she don't deserve that name. But I see possibly Dana White might do this. He canceled that fight between Irene and Raquel, so he might cancel that fight between Mara and Holly, and push Holly into a title shot. Because remember what I'm telling you, Holly was a champion before. Holly, she's been on I think Holly's been on a couple of winning streaks, because she beat it'd be a fourth fight between, I think it'd be a third fight between Holly and Raquel. She only has that one win, that's against Yana, and then she lost against Caitlin Vera. She beat Irene, and then she had a couple of cancellations between Juliana Pena and Norma Dumont. So I don't know. With Dana White beat is all who he feel like who's popular. I know he knows that most definitely the more popular fighter is Holly Holm. Between Holly Holm and Juliana Pena, he's going to go with Holly Holm. Even though, and also with Juliana, she has that rib injury. Rib injuries takes a while to heal, because it's an organ where you don't. It's not like with if you broke an arm or broke a leg or any kind of bone where you can get put a wrap around it. Other thing you can do with a rib is like wrap around your body. And you don't have the technology for that yet, because you have so many ribs. Even if you just one, there's no point to there's nothing you can really do. So you just got to let that thing heal. And it's not going to be really, depending on unless you get x-rays and stuff like that, it's going to take a while. It's going to take a good while. So, knowing Dana, he's probably, he has to give really the opportunity to Raquel Pennington. Because Raquel's been on, a 3-fight winning streak. So she beat, she beat, Caitlin Vera. She beat Pity Kensat. She beat, I think, Mario Renault. I mean, she's just been more active. And, just like I said again, it's all up to, what Dana wants to do. He's the boss. He's the guy who's in charge. So he feels like if he wants to push a third fight between Raquel and Holly, because they're active and they're, they have no real, bad injuries of late, he would probably do it. I mean, he'll probably do it. I mean, with, like I said, with and then with the 145 title, What is that to do? Well, with 145, I think he might as well go ahead and just, either he's going to push. I think he might try to. It's like, Chelsea Chandler. She just got into UFC. She hadn't been long enough to want a title shot. You know, Norma Dumont has been dominant. You might as well say she beat, you know, quite a few fighters. If she's been fighting 145, she only beat Danielle Wolf. That was an easy win. Carol Rosa, that was an easy win. Now she took a loss to Macy Chiasson. She beat Aspen Ladd, and she beat Felicia Spencer. So to me, that's the only person that's probably worth, give a push to. I mean, but but with this fight between her, now she's fighting Chelsea Chandler also in July, a month away. And now with the title, now that Amanda retired the title, will he have will this be a title shot for both these women? I think the mindset either one would be good for Dana White, especially someone like Norma Dumont, who has very appealing, has a lot of cake. Yep, they'll probably push. Maybe he can recruit more fighters. Like I said, Macy Chiasson, she should fight at 145. Julia Sotorenko should fight at 145. I think Julia's supposed to be fighting sometime soon at 125. I don't know if she can make the weight. They kicked out Bae Maleki. She's no longer with the UFC because after her last fight, Bae had that was tough fight on Bae when she lost to that chick a while back. I think it was Nunez, Jose Nunez, and her record's not that good, 2-1, and she was kind of struggling, and Nunez possibly, I think Jose Nunez can go up to 145. She looks like she's not no small chick, and you see that long. I mean, I think she has a couple of fights in UFC. I'm trying to pull up her I'm on Topology. They usually, she's been in UFC for a good bit. 3 fights in, and she has, I would say, record of 3 straight wins. She beats Roma Pasquale, who got kicked out because she couldn't make the weight, or she just always coming overweight. They jumped on this girl too quick. Roma's chick needed more time to stew. Then Zara of What's Her Face, she beat her, and that was earlier this year. And she had a couple of cancer fights, and she knocked out Bae Maleki. So she's 3-0 in the UFC right now. Totally, her record is 10-1. So would they push her for maybe a title shot for 145 or 135? I think she probably wouldn't mind going 135, especially if as long as you have people like Holly and Juliana and Raquel over at 135. 145 probably better. More opportunities, not as many fighters. You get a few fights. That's the sad part about it, because Dana White doesn't want to recruit new fighters. So it's just not much you can really do. Well, like I said, I know people like who are big fan of Nunes fan of Man XA. Shout out to Man XA. I hope he's doing all right. I was hoping he would come on here and chop it up. I know he's still dealing with some stuff in some situations because of since his apartment was burnt down. I know last time he supposed to, once he gets set up, he shoot me a link. I sent him a message yesterday, see if he wants to if he want to ever come on live and we'll talk about it. No, I didn't see the match. I see the match to see how he's doing. And I thought he might send me something to say, "Are you going to still talk about the Nunes fight?" I was at one point I was going to talk about it, but then when I heard she retired, I said, "You know what? I need to speak on it because I have been doing too much stuff on MMA lately. You know, some stuff here and there, but it's been kind of like I said, I've been focused a lot on bodybuilding. I got a couple interviews coming up this week. You can check, and check them out. Also, I got my live stream Muscle Talk Monday tomorrow, and also I'm doing. If you saw, also I'm gonna do another live stream later the week. Check. We're talk about some events that's going on in bodybuilding right now, but I do need to get back on my bodybuilding talk every now and then. I mean, my WMA talk every now and then because I've been kind of right now, as there's a lot of talk going on with Valentina. Some feel like she's kind of salty, but wouldn't you be champion as long as she has? You lost the way she lost. I mean, people say she didn't do those, so I had the right to give an excuse. I'm a fan. Yeah, sometimes I may not agree with something, but then as a fan, I'm still always gonna support my fighter. You may have mad something we just sometimes. Yeah, why not? But now with the I would say the Queen of the Jungle gone. It's like this. It's like it just goes back to what happens. I remember there was an episode. It was a show called Mark Up in the Middle, and they gave me an idea of this how it works. Like when you get rid of the biggest bully on the playground, all the other little bullies want to fight to get that spot. This would happen years ago back during the Second Gulf War, when America, I would say, interfered. And, basically, I know it was his country that killed him, but technically, truthfully, it's America's fault. When I was sorry, I start saying when they sent the soldiers into Iraq, found Saddam Hussein, gave it to the new regime, they killed him. They should have just gone and left, but no, they were staying there because of oil, whatever else, and it created a mess. Because when you get rid of the biggest, baddest bully on the playground, all the little bullies want to take a spot. And they weren't afraid of America because America has rules of engagement. They have rules when it comes to fighting. They want to shoot children. They want to shoot women if they can avoid it. They don't want to do things they don't need to do because you have rules of engagement. That's in all military forces, from Navy to Armed Forces to Marines, and even Air Force. But these bad guys, or these people, they don't have those rules. Like when Saddam Hussein was ruler of Iraq. He killed the whole village, from man, woman, child to the animals. He wiped out the whole village because they were his enemies, and there's this old saying goes back. When you kill your enemies, you must kill everybody right down to the last child, because you never know they'll come back and get you. And that's what he did. Because we don't follow those, it goes back to Rome. It's an old Roman strategy. It goes back to Roman strategies. So when you don't get rid of all your enemies, everybody's going to want to take a shot now for the next top dog, and no one's going to be afraid of you. Kind of like with so much with Amanda Nunes and Valentina Shevchenko. They were so dominant for so long, people were afraid of them. Then when they took their losses, now people see that, hey, they're weak. Like the episode in Rocky 4 when Rocky cuts Ivan Drago. He's not a machine. He's a man. I know they're not machines. They're women, but still, you have that aura around you. But one big disappointment for me as a fan is that we're not going to get Cyborg Nunes 2. We're not going to get that fight. I feel cheated because I'm not going to blame Cyborg for what she did. She was a fighter who wants to get back. I blame Dana White beater. You messed that up. Because you got in your feelings. And that's what kind of you got in your feelings. That's your problem. You didn't like Cyborg because she was very vocal about what she wanted to do. She was you don't like Cyborg. They're always going to put that thing about the steroids thing. Almost everybody used steroids. but you don't be on their cases as much as you be on Cyborg's. There's just a hypocrisy how some people talk about this person, but then hey, what about that person? They took stuff that was even more heavier than what she was taking. And the thing is also, it's easy to point her because she's a female, she's not white, and and it's just easy to point that, like what bodybuilding, how they talk about women who take steroids to bodybuilding, but the fact is guys take them too. You know, you don't build that type of muscle without taking something. That's the fact of it. But it's just always gonna be double standard. It's not much you can do about it. But maybe like I said, I feel like this, especially with Nunes. She has a family. Her Nina's daughter. You know, Nina. She retired a while back. So how you gonna live? I mean, I know Nunes got a new gym. How's she paying for that? She probably got a few sponsors like that. Will she stay retired? I don't know. I feel like there's a good chance that she might come back. Will she go to Bellator? Bellator, where I'm hearing it, is broke. And they probably would love to get Amanda Nunes, but they probably would afford to pay her. As PFL, they picked up Francis Ngannou about a month or so ago. And sometimes they get in those deep pockets because I think they're kind of like PFL is kind of like how UFC was back in the early days when Dana White got up with the Fertittas. They had deep pockets. Now Dana White has gone corporate. And that's the thing is, people forget about this. What took down the Las Vegas, would transfer Las Vegas out of the hands of the mob, was corporate. Corporate companies. They're coming in there, and the mobs were getting pushed out because most of them were getting busted on RICO charges. Some were dipping into drugs and they got busted. Corporations come in and they take over. NASCAR was a criminal enterprise, and now it took over by big corporate companies. You see, like it was just seen as this country little thing, but it got so popular. You look at now, you see these NASCAR drivers working for big corporate companies now. Like anything that is started in, most big businesses started out as a criminal enterprise, and now it's big, like OnlyFans. OnlyFans was a criminal enterprise. Backpage. But then when the government shut down Backpage, some guy jumped on it, created OnlyFans. I know quite a few ladies in the sport of bodybuilding and also in MMA who have OnlyFans. And it's a way to make money. One good example is Jessica Andrade. She had an OnlyFans, but she closed it. But she should have kept it. It's a way for you to make money because you don't get paid much as a fighter in UFC. It's a form of income. And whatever everybody thinks about you, you should make your money. You live in. I think she lives in the States now. It's expensive to live in the States. She can go back to Brazil if she wants, but she knows she has better quality of living here. You don't have to worry about where she used to stay at. She got robbed. It was a few years ago. She got robbed. There's a lot of places in Brazil. It's kind of dangerous. They tell you there's some places are safe, but some places their law system is not as. It's not. Maybe it's way better than America's. I mean, our law system is probably a little bit better than Brazil's, but still, better opportunities here in the States than is back there. And even though your money is a lot more, but here, it's if you take like say like a lot of these fighters like Taila Santos, she can go up to 135 if she wants, if she ever thinks about it. A lot of that money they make here in the UFC, they take it back to their home countries, and they live like kings. But here, you have to really, really, really have a way to make a good amount of money because the cost of living in America is way higher. Properties and everything is high. Houses are expensive, But many fighters know that there's more opportunities here it is than back home. Man, usually taking move up and go back to Brazil if she wants. And she be living high, she can live the rest of her life without worry about it, no problems. She may not even need to work. But then she's married to Nina. I'll stay here, where there's more here to have. Especially education for the daughter. America does have a slightly better education system than Brazil. There's some countries that has a way better education than America, but compared to some places in South America, Central America, and some other countries, America does have one of the better education systems. Not that better, but just slightly. So Now with the WTF champ gone, it's a opportunity. Who's going to be the next champion? Like I said, this the possibility that Dana White might be sitting there, so the fight with Ronda Brand Silver and Holly. He might say no. He might. I think he might push that fight back. He might give Mario somebody else to see like who's not doing anything right now. That's a big question. And what fighter is not active? Somebody's. Yeah, I don't have the list for 135. He could change that fight. Last minute. The fight's not till about a month. So, what's the possibility? Who would he want to put, in for a title shot for 135? Yeah, there's a good amount of names. I think maybe. How about Mario Silva versus Catlin Vieira? That's a possibility, but I think Cattle's a little high on the list. Maybe Penny Kenza versus against Mara, or see Carla Rosa. I don't know, but more likely, the one thing with that kind of it's like when Sarah McMahon left, she left kind of a hole. Because I felt like this: if Sarah McMahon stayed, and that fight between Irene and Raquel was canceled, I think I would think Raquel would probably fought Sarah McMahon. That would have been a good move. But I think she could have. I think Sarah she was tired sitting, waiting. She wanted to be active, and I can't fault her for that. I can't fault her. Her fight Aspen Ladd was canceled. She hadn't fought. I think her last fight was Carla Rosa. That was back in the middle of it was the first of last year. And then if you look at Carla Rosa's record, she had last 2 fights since then. And it's just she couldn't just wait. I mean, hadn't fights since the first of the year. Then had the 2 fights canceled with Aspen Ladd last year, and she didn't feel like waiting. I can't fault her. But I think if she waited a little bit and this happened, they probably get another fight. I don't know. It's just a mess. Dana, like I said, he don't use the fighters that he needs to use, and he's also, like I said, he's ages and prejudiced against some of his fighters. But like I said, Sarah's moved on. She's at Bellator now. She beat Arlene Blanco, who was a multiple-time 145 contender, and now she's focused on her future there. Like I said, folks, it's just one of these things that happen in sports, But I ain't gonna stay on too much longer. I just want to came on for a bit and just give my thoughts on this. Like I said, the fight was a disappointment. My man, the coach, he was doing the live commentary, and he at one point he started falling asleep. Coach, he's back because Coach is a busy man. He's a busy man. My man, Coach, he's busy, but he needs to, like I said, take a nap every now and then during the day. Rest a little bit. We pick on him about it. He always picks about me about calling his internet the George Page internet. I said, it's not. I got Spectrum. The early, I think, was usually, I think my internet does kind of funny like that. If I lived in more of a more metropolitan city, I think it'd be a lot better. If I live in a Pocono, and also my house too. I live in an old apartment. If I had like a brand new apartment, something a little bit more fancy, more upscale, I probably might be a lot better. But it does pretty good. I don't have well, 1 week was it? It was last. Was it a Saturday for last? It was no. I think it was Friday, but last. I was going to do an interview with a lady, and y'all saw on my social on my channel that it was going to be this interview, but then the middle of the day, the internet went out for most of the day. This happened about a year ago when the internet was out for almost a whole day. It didn't come back on till like late that evening. I think it happened to me at least twice. And my fear was like I said, it was gonna be like that on that long, no point, you know, you know, so I say, you know what, I'm just gonna, we're gonna say we can move the interview to another day. But if it wasn't for that, we would have had an interview that day, but I hope we do get back up with each other. She had something come up in her family, and I said, okay, I respect that. But I hope we get to that deal because I know this is a great interview. But I got a couple coming up this week. Got some things I got to do, and I know I appreciate y'all for y'all concerned about me. I'm doing fine. Got some stuff I'm taking care of right now. Get things straight, and I'll be in a better shape than I was before. But like I said again, with Amanda Nunes now gone, it's going to change the playing field. Would this make 135 better now that this is more opportunity of somebody becoming champion? Did Amanda Nunes being champ so long kind of made the division not worth keeping up because you don't have someone like Ronda Rousey anymore? I don't know. They could have kept it up. They could have brought fresh new blood. They could have why give someone like Holly Holm a 6-fight contract? Now, I think she's already 2 fights into her contract. She has 4 more fights left after this fight with Mar. Because she beat Yana, got this fight with Mar. She has 4 more fights coming up. Possibly one's going to be a title contendership. I don't know. And if they might, like I said again, they might do this. Knowing Dana, he's a big fan of Holly Holm. Holly has that look that they can push. She's blonde. She has a tight body. They can push that. So they could possibly do this, knowing that she retired. Dana White beat her. He's scheming. He's thinking his head, saying, you know what? Why not just go ahead and just push a title shot, between Holly and Raquel? Or I can wait and push a title shot between Holly and Juliana. You got at least, he used to say, okay, like I said this, you can, take and substitute someone for Holly against Mar, and it's like this. Mar just switched over to 135. Why not give her one of the girls on the lower ring in? Like I said, Panikinza or Carla Rosa or well, I don't know. I think Julia Alvarez, they may have dropped her because she got pregnant a while back, but she's been working out. I don't know who's, like I said, 135 is kind of like almost a dead division, but they'll probably start recruiting more women now that Amanda's gone, and give possibility to grow the division. Also, like I said again, they need to grow 145 because 145 is a good division. You get more powerful. Yeah, you're gonna have some fights where maybe they're always gonna be what you want, but they're gonna get more opportunities for these ladies who are much of the bigger end, who are too big for 135. They don't have to kill themselves making 135. I mean, 145 could grow as a good division if Dana sees it. He's like I said, he's just like I said, I'm not a big wife beater fan, but he knows he can grow this division if he wants. Recruit fighters. Like good example, someone like Olga Rubin. Olga Rubin just had a fight about a couple months ago when she beat Claire Guthrie. She was, this is 2 fights winning streak. She beat Serena De Jesus, defeat Claire Guthrie. If she beats Tilala Bernardo, would Dana recruit her? She's blonde. She's not American, but she's blonde and attractive. She's Israeli. You get an Israeli fighter, and that's like people say it's Jewish. Not all people who live in Israel is Jews, but you equate Israel with Jews. So you get a lot of the big Jew supporters because hey, you got this Israeli fighter there. And I know she can fight 135, but she's probably better at 145. You get, she's in the mode of someone like Holly Holm. She's much more older. She's a mom. That's one thing. Is she's a mom. She has a kid. She's married. So I think that's one thing that hurts. I think that's one for guys that like. I like the fact that some ladies who are married, have kids. They say like, but she's still an attractive woman. I'm saying not a big old fan, but she's an attractive woman, and she has an impressive physique. Kind of like she has some potential as a bodybuilder. She wants maybe CrossFitter, but yeah, you can recruit her. They did it. They picked up Miranda Maverick before she fought for the title at 125 back in Invicta, and she lost her fight just last night. So we're going to keep Miranda Maverick much longer? I don't know. She's been on a downfall. One of the fights they cheated out of her. I said that fight with her and Macy Barber. I think she got cheated out of her. Last two fights, she's been really sloppy. I think my man coach says blame it on the tip. She's married, and that's the thing. She's like in her, how old is Miranda? I think Miranda's now in her late 20s now. She married her husband. He's like in his, by her age. At that age, you should really think about what you want to do with your life. And right now, with your young woman, I don't know. You should just, enjoy the moments in life that you have. I wouldn't jump up and get married right away. And like I said, she's young, and what's that thing? Youth and fertility. That's the thing, is youth and fertility. If all it takes is just one day, one night, boom. It happens. She can be, and I know, if that happens, then Dana gonna feel like, what's the point of me keeping this fighter? She's young. She's, it's just debate. So, where is the future for Miranda Maverick? Stay on for another, maybe probably the next fight and see how she does. If she can get past somebody, they'll probably keep her because she's still young. She has to look to her. She's up there with someone like Erin Blanchfield. And, and they're probably, because her and Erin fought each other. It's, like I said, up in the air what they're going to do with her. Because she's just, like I said, she's still in her, she's just, like I said, she's just 25. So I want to make sure you're 25. She's in her mid-20s. Still young. But, get married like she did, I think she need more time. She need more time. So, folks, I'm about to head out. I appreciate y'all listening to me and just talking off my butt. I hope everybody has a great rest of the great week coming up. I'll try to keep busy. I appreciate y'all. I might, like I said again, I know I need to get back. I know why my fans are more about the bodybuilding stuff, but I need to get back on my WMMA. I'd love to do some interviews with some women in mixed martial arts. It's been a long time. I think my last interview was with Jamie Driver. That was about a year ago. And Jamie just fought against Jose Cotton at BYB about a month or so ago. About a month ago. No, yeah, about a month ago. She lost that fight. Sorry about to the Red Queen. I said I was gonna figure out a package and send it to her. I gotta probably do later this week. All right, fix one package for my little ladies. And maybe something, maybe give her spirits up a little bit because it's a struggle. But anyway, folks, I'm gonna head out. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Shout out to all the fighters out there. Goodbye to the double chump champ. Because like I said, I'm a hate till I can't hate no more. But you know what? It's like Scarface. She'll be back. Another Cuello. She'll love you in the morning. Ain't that right, Frank? And it's a possibility she might come back. It happens. Fighters who walk away and they feel like, they want to walk away for a certain reason, but then, as a fighter, look for Mayweather. I think he had a couple of what's it called? What's the fights? The what's his fights? You had a couple like fights out since he left, and just to keep himself active, and Floyd's like nearly 50, but yeah, you never know. She might come back. Maybe back. She could come back to the UFC, but she has to start at the bottom. But then what? Dana White is gonna give her an opportunity to fight for a title. She feels like he was the most dominant champ with the biggest record. I mean, he's gonna probably give the opportunity for anything. But anyway, folks, I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you for coming through. I mean, Jake supporting, comment, like, subscribe to my channel. I hope maybe I'm gonna see if I reach out to some more women in May, maybe see interviews on here. And shout out to like I said, shout out to my family at CS Combat Sports. Shout out to them. Thank you, BJ, for letting me come on your live stream a couple of days ago. Brother, you complete me. I know it's not the other guy, but hey, still you complete me. Thank you, BJ. So anyway, folks, this is Mallory Judge Page, aka the Emperor of WME Talk. Don't like, subscribe, don't subscribe. I'm out.